am back with another soy sauce bottle. And this one has a little piece of paper stuck in it because my daughter was playing with it and she wanted to make potions. So she shoved a piece of paper in there and then filled it up with water and dish soap. So now it's just a soggy piece of paper inside of a bottle that I can't reach. Come on, Ashley, think longer, finger thoughts. Ah, I got it. Okay, so my last soy sauce bottle, I did like a good fairy castle. Whee! All right, Ashley, stop screwing around. Seriously, stop screwing around. What are you doing? I'm going to pretend like I don't know you, which is what I do with my husband every time he's in public. I swear, I can't take this man anywhere without embarrassing me. And Jake, I know you're in the comments. You can't deny this, even though it's not his fault. He is a husband, and that's what husbands do. Or so my husband tells me. Which, by the way, you know what else he tells me? That I can't get a circle window. He says, Ashley, it'll lower our resale value. What? If anything, it's going to up our resale value. And then he says, but they leak. And I say, all windows leak eventually. What, just because it's in a circle shape, it's going to leak more? Sounds like anti-circle window propaganda. Oh, and by the way, Emily's on board with this too. Aren't you, Emily? Yeah, look at that face. Of course you let me get a circle window. He's such a cutie. Anyways, there's your Emily tax for the day. Where were we? Oh, right. As I was saying, I did a nice pink fairy castle last time, and somebody suggested that I do the opposite this time, and I like that. Because I don't know if you know this, but I like creepy stuff. In fact, I would say that I like creepy stuff more than I like not creepy stuff. Or what's the opposite of creepy? Safe? I don't think that's it. And you can't really say beautiful because creepy stuff can be beautiful. Ooh, so if you're wondering why I added these sparkles, it's because I want the view through my circle window to be pretty. And you know glass is transparent, so you're gonna see right through it to whatever I add to the backside, which would have just been white paper. And I'm pretty sure that witch fairies aren't into boring. And this is just me assuming that they're witch fairies, but they did decorate the rim of their house with skulls. Or should I say the skulls of their enemies? Or so I assume. I don't know. Maybe it's their ancestors. Ooh, wait, I know. Maybe it's the skulls of all the husbands that wouldn't let them get circle windows. Yeah, that's right. And the witch fairies were like, we don't need men, especially men who say no to their wives about circle. Look at that big circle window. I mean, they might be overcompensating because the men said no to their circle windows. So now they're like, you know what? If you say no to my circle window, I'm going to make the biggest circle window in the world and then decorate it with your skull. So really what I'm saying is this is a cautionary tale to my husband. If you see me putting in a 7-foot circle window, no, you didn't, unless you want it decorated with your skull. I'm just kidding. I love my husband. I wouldn't do that, probably. So anyways, back to this art. I got my creepy crawlies box out for creepy crawliness. I mean, if we're gonna do something creepy, it's right in the name, creepy crawly. And I'm gonna put a whole family of them on the side of this soy sauce bottle. Because in the comments of the last video, a lot of you said that the spiders could be farming the fairies. No, wait, the other way around. That would be weird. But hold up, how would you farm a fairy if you could farm a fairy? If you squeeze a fairy, does fairy dust come out? Like a weird fairy juicer? Anyways, the fairies are farming the spiders for their silk. Even though, yes, you did educate me that silk does not come from spiders. I don't know why I thought it did, but it actually comes from worms. However, I feel that fairies could still farm spiders for their webs. I'm sure it would make a good adhesive or a rope. So long story short, that was my spider farm on the side. And apparently it's spider farm hatching season because all those little bubbles were hatching. And if that grosses you out, then don't think about it. Instead, think about this tree that I'm making. Look how cool it is. I'm gonna put it right here on this platform. And then I painted just the tip, the tippity top of these branches. And then the last good soy sauce bottle, because I guess we're doing like a good versus evil. I don't know. Anyways, the last soy sauce bottle, I did clear crystals. Clear crystals. Look, that's hard to say. Clear crystals. Anyway, so this time I did not clear crystals. And look at my bling that I added to my circle window, which is just a spring from a clock, which scared the poop out of me when I unsprung it. I wish I had video, but I didn't know that it was going to violently attack me when I pulled a little tab out. I'm telling you, the thing flew across the room. Anyway, so then I added these little swirly things. You see these little black things? I don't know what those are, but I thought they looked good, so I added them. And check out my little froggy. That's right, we're going to make a little frog statue, which I'm going to put right next to this tree. But this froggy's looking a little too new, so I'm going to patina him with this swelligant. which takes a little while for the chemical reaction. So while I wait, I got out my junk, I should toss box, and pulled some junk out of it to make a tiny little fairy house, which I realized that the skulls decorating the rim of the fairy house could not possibly be fairy skulls now when we look at the scale of everything. So perhaps those are pixie skulls, because, you know, the fairies and the pixies have been fighting for years over frog ownership laws. Yeah, that's right. So frogs are like a commodity. And I mean, they could ride toads, but everybody would rather have a frog. It's kind of like the difference between a Corvette and, I don't know, I can't think of a bad car. Look, I'm not a car person. We'll just go with my husband's car, a Prius. So these fairies they'd rather ride the frogs than the toads, even though the toads are better for the environment. And let's face it, they're more comfortable. But you know, you accidentally ride one poison frog into the drinking water and everybody labels it as an environmental disaster. So the pixies took away the frogs from the fairies, and now the fairies are upset. Just because Kevin got a little too, a little too tipsy on the morning dewdrop and jumped his frog, Dukes of Hazzard style, right into the water tower. The pixies held it against all of the fairies. And that's totally not fair. I mean, they can't help it that Kevin is the town screw up, but the pixies got mad, and so now they don't allow frogs in the fairy towns anymore. Dang it, Kevin. In fact, they erected a frog statue to remind Kevin how much of a screw up he is. So anyways, after all of the fairies got persecuted by those pixies, the fairies fought back by collecting and displaying pixie skulls right below their water source. And they'll keep collecting skulls until they get the right to own frogs again. And look at that, we're done. What do you guys think? Hold up, I'm going to show you what the two soy sauce bottles look like together. But first, I guess I'm showing you all the details on this one. See the house and the frog and the tree, which, did you see the little leaves that I put on the tree? Adorable. Oh, and while we're looking at this, I just want to remind you that I have a book coming out October 15th. You can pre-order it. Links in my bio. Oh, look at that. There's the two soy sauce bottles together. Which one's your favorite? I think I like the dark one better. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.